Clinging to any identity will always create suffering for you. By the end of this video, you will understand why identity attachment is the root of human misery and what to do instead to let go and remain happy. But first, my name is Tanner Niels, and after realizing the war within my own mind, I've set out to find the simplest way to help myself and anyone else looking to finally just be fucking happy. So, if simply being fucking happy is something that you're interested in, I'm aiming to post twice a week here, so please give the like button some love and subscribe to catch up with each video to join me on the pursuit of happiness. Okay, let's get into today's video. Now, when we cling to an identity, there's a few things that are happening. Okay, number one, your ego is constructing a way for you to differentiate yourself from others. Okay, it's just trying to find its place in the world, whether that's Democrat, Republican, your religion, the color of your skin, your gender, whatever it is. Your identity gives the illusion of knowing who you are. It's a way to feel important, to have your place within this world. And yeah, sure, I mean, it feels good. The ego wants that. It feels good to have your place, to have your thing. But what it's doing is obviously creating separation, which in turn is searching for hierarchy, whether you know it or not. So we are humans, and as humans, we are creatures of judgment. You know, a lot of people like to go say, oh, I don't judge. But the truth of the matter is that you do, okay? And it's not a bad thing. It's what's kept us alive for tens of thousands of years. Judging kept us safe from tiger, danger, deer. That's okay, right? We had to know the difference of somebody or something attacking us or something coming up and being friendly with us. It's snap judgments like that that have saved us from whatever in the world. So it's just ingrained into us that we do. But the thing about judgment is that when you have created an identity, you are now, without knowing it consciously, judging its hierarchy or its stance. And now that forces you to defend your stance against anybody and any attacker, right? Because when we're dealing with a lot of this stuff, it's nervous system. Okay, your subconscious and your nervous system have no idea. They can't tell the difference between a scary movie and something actually happened. They just understand fear. So that's the danger of it. Okay, so judging and your subconscious and your nervous system act the same way. So just because you feel that you are this person here at this time, and you think consciously, well, I'm not judging higher or lower. It's like, yeah, but a part of you is. And when that space becomes threatened, you begin to defend because your nervous system, your subconscious believes that it is in fact real. And so the more you invest into this identity, the more you have to lose. So you become constantly on guard and ready to defend your identity. And so that's how we see Karens, or now I think the male term is Darren, right? Is when you have this identity of being right, of knowing better or whatever, and you ingrain that, then you're always on guard against other people. And so number two, you externalize your happiness, peace, and contentment to other people and other circumstances. So when you do this, when you invest into this identity, your happiness now depends on others validating your identity. Like I said, Karen needs the manager to agree that she's right with her. The Republican or Democrat needs everybody to vote their way. Various people need to be called this or acknowledged as this. And so with that, you're saying, once you acknowledge me for this, I will be happy. But that never, ever, ever ends. No matter how many people conform to your will, that will never end. Because you externalized happiness. You're admitting that happiness and peace and contentment now lives outside of you. So it doesn't matter how many people confirm your identity with you, you still don't have happiness living within you. You still don't have peace and contentment and joy living within you. You said it's out there somewhere. This is called the curse of the white rabbit. It doesn't matter if it's money or happiness or joy or the perfect relationship or all of these things. When you say that it lives outside of you, when you acknowledge within that these things depend on other people or circumstances in your life, you will never get it. It's like climbing a wall. We always talk about the grass being greener on the other side, but you're standing in a yard and you have this huge fucking wall to get to the other side, the greener grass. And that wall is other people conforming to your will or things fitting your pictures. But as soon as you start climbing that wall, as soon as some people start calling you this, or as soon as you get the way that you want, regardless of what it is, you never get over that wall. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And you're hoping the whole time the grass is greener, but the wall's always getting bigger. Number 3, no matter how hard you try, you cannot control other people. When you cling to an identity, you put yourself on guard 100% of the time. It drains your energy. You're constantly trying to convince, to convert, or to control other people. That's fucking exhausting. The resentment buildup, when others don't comply with your identity needs, you just build resentment and you start to ruin relationships. And of course, a victim mentality will come into it. Everyone else is wrong, stupid, or evil, or not seeing the truth, or not doing what I say, and you're supposed to do what I say. And you just become this victim to the world and to the circumstances of your life. And number 4, obviously that leads to being in a constant state of fragile and in comparison to others. Your nervous system, your subconscious, feels like it's in constant threat because you're judging everything, right? Any challenge your identity feels is like a threat to its existence, okay? That's why people get so heated about things, is because they feel literally under attack. Their fight or flight is kicking in. We see these videos, I see them on YouTube, of the top 5 Karen or Darren moments. And that's what it's like, is that you're just constantly waiting for somebody to fucking piss you off. You can't be happy like that. You can't. You're hyper vigilant. You're always on watch, always scanning for threats against your identity. Anger, fear, judgment, anytime that your identity is questioned. You build your life on a brittle foundation, built on something that can be taken away or proven wrong. Think about that for a second. You build your life on something that can be taken away or proven wrong. So I'm going to share something with you now. So this is something I've put together, something that I've learned a long time ago. I'll put it up here. And it's how the world actually works and why clinging to an identity will give you more and more stress, why more things in your life will show up that cause you more stress. And it's called the circle of manifestation. So we've all probably heard the term manifestation, but it is real and it has to do with the way that you feel and the frequency that you're on. And so frequency is like emotions, okay? When you're feeling joy, gratitude, peace, contentment, you have a high frequency. And think about the times in your life when you felt those feelings, okay? You probably felt lighter. You felt like, I always say I can get up and run a mile because I just feel light. I feel easy. The air just breathes cleaner to me. I feel light and energized. But think about the times that you're angry or you have guilt or you have shame or any of those kinds of emotions. You feel heavy. You feel tired. You feel drained. And it just kind of brings you down. And shortly thereafter, you're tired, right? So people who have erratic emotions or people who have emotions clinging to their identity or constantly on guard will be tired a lot. Events, internalization, broadcast, and create. So something happens, a circumstance or an event happens in your life, which gives you an emotion. Once you grab a hold of that emotion and internalize it, you've adapted that feeling and you've adapted that frequency. Now that's the frequency that you're broadcasting. And when you broadcast that frequency, the universe is listening because your outer world does, in fact, follow your inner world. It doesn't matter if you want to read Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, Alan Watts. I mean, you can read any number of authors who talk about this. Brian Tracy, Napoleon Hill, all of these guys. So when you broadcast that emotion, you're saying, this is what I want to feel. Universe, give me more of this in my reality. And so then you create it, okay? So if you're clinging to an identity and somebody gets your identity wrong, and you internalize that and you make a big stink about it and you buy into an emotion, you get triggered about it, you're saying, I like this. I would like to have more of it. And the universe will say, okay. And you will get more of it until you learn the lesson. And so now let's get into what you can do about it. So, number one, and this is a big one, understand the illusion of it all. This is a tricky concept for a lot of people to understand. But I included it in here because it's crucial and it's very important, and I'll include it in a lot of work that I do. Doesn't matter if you go to a monk or a Zen guide or some spiritual guru, they'll tell you they have nothing to teach you. And part of it is true, okay? Because the art of Zen is basically understanding the illusion of everything. You are not you. Your name, your size, your gender, your race, your whatever you are is just an identifier in this world. But you are not from this world. And there is no scientific proof that can ever explain what actually is behind your eyes. Okay, they can cut open your brain, but they don't find your personality. They can look through all your neural pathways, but they're not going to find why your voice is like that, why you think that way, and why you have the interests that you have. It just doesn't work that way. You are a piece of God or the universe, whatever you choose to believe in. What lives in me also lives in you and every other person. Okay, you are here for a journey. Who you actually are has nothing to do with how you look, how you sound, and anything in this world. They are complete constructs. Everything you identify yourself in this world is a complete construct from within this world. You are not actually from this world. It's a very difficult concept, but again, I go back to the authors I mentioned, and we've known this for thousands of years. So there is no difference. We just try to create it in this world to have the human experience that we have. Number two is the red car theory. I'm sure if you've seen any Tony Robbins or anything like that, I know he talks about it a lot. The red car theory is absolutely real. If you choose to look at it, you will see it. When you think about red cars or buying a red car, next thing you know, every other car on the street is a fucking red car. Okay? If you're going to buy a Jeep Wrangler, every other car is now a Jeep Wrangler. It's because you have now told your mind what you want to look at, and then it will show up. So red car theory is an easy way to help people understand the connection between what you think and what shows up in your life. So again, when you cling to an identity, you're subconsciously asking to see that in your life. You want to see it so that you can defend it. You have made that stance to your nervous system, to your emotions and your frequency, and you've made that to your subconscious that you want to see that in your life. So if you are so hell-bent on being something, more and more people are going to come into your life calling you the wrong thing because you're asking for it. You're wanting to see it. It's your red car. There's so many things that I used to care about, and it used to trigger me. Politics would be one of them. And I just stopped looking at it, and it just evaporated out of my life. And I'm so much happier as a result. So being attached to identity puts that frequency into the outer world. Like I said, it must oblige. The outer world will oblige what you tell it, and you tell it by your emotions and your frequency and your subconscious. And your subconscious and your nervous system and your frequency have no idea what's really going on. They don't. They just feel things. So when your conscious mind says, I'm scared from watching this scary film, your nervous system's just like, something scary's happening out there. I'm scared. Be careful. Number three is understand this is your game. Life is a game. It is. And you get to choose what you want to play, and you get to choose the lessons that you want to learn. If you keep choosing to connect with this identity, you're going to get more lessons thrown at you. You're choosing to play that game. So you want to play the defend my political affiliation to the death? That's what you're going to do. And that's not a happy fucking game. But every game is available to you. You can choose to play the marriage game. You don't have to. You can choose to play the parent game. You don't have to do that. You can choose to play the happy game. You can choose to play the angry game. You can choose to be good at the money game, or you can choose to be bad at it. That one gets me a lot of flack. But it's true. If you want to play the money game well, you can play the money game well. You can play the health game. You can play the fucking disease game if you want, if you don't take care of yourself. But any game that you want to play is available to you. Going back to the red car theory. If you want to look at it, then you'll see it. Wayne Dyer wrote a book, and he quotes a lot about when you believe it, you'll see it. And it's true. Most people think when I see it, I'll believe it. It's fucking backwards. When you believe it, you will see it. So number 4, ditch the attachment. All Stoic philosophy preaches detachment, becoming unfazed by the outcome or viewpoints of others. So when we have a strong attachment to things, that's when things get sticky. When we're so concerned about finding a partner, we gotta find a partner. It's on your brain. I gotta find one. I gotta find one. I gotta find one. There ain't a partner on this planet for you. But as soon as you say, you know, I'd like to have a partner. I'd like to have a great partner. And then you eliminate the attachment to having it or to finding that person, they show up. And that's the most common one that I hear all the time, is when people stop the attachment to finding something, it comes about. One thing that I've said quite a bit is that if the sole purpose of your journey is for the destination, you're going to spend most of your life disappointed. Choose what it is you want, work towards it, and detach from any outcome. And that's how things come about. Okay? And here's the thing. If you are truly being who you want to be, great, be it, and who fucking cares? And that's the whole point of detachment, is that you don't have to stop being what you are. You can be that proudly, and just who fucking cares? Just lower the attachment to it, right? Because it doesn't change anything, and doesn't matter who says anything to you. You can still be that person, and they can be that person, and that's okay. That's the game that they're playing. And that's okay. Because here's the real big thing, is that there's only one person on this planet who can actually make you mad. There's only one person on this planet who can actually trigger you. One. Only one. You're the only person. And I go back to externalizing your happiness, right? You get to choose how you feel 100% of the time. You say, well, that person came in and triggered me. Well, why do they have power? And that's the thing, is like, some people don't want to be called yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. And I've seen people get upset about that. But here's the thing. What if that person was just raised in a household that demanded they were respectful to their parents and their grandparents and other people? Could you have more sympathy for that? That it's just a habit to say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. When you lower the attachment, you begin to have more compassion in that area. You begin to see that other people are not really aiming to hurt your feelings. They're just raised that way. And even if they do aim to hurt your feelings, you can still have compassion for them, for their desire to do that, because then you realize the hurt that they have in their fucking heart. And the hurt that they have in their heart, you can have compassion for and not be triggered or upset about it. Now, let me ask you, would that make you a lot fucking happier? Would it not? Because who you actually are is not affected by other people. It never will be. It never can be unless you give them power. Don't give them power. Be you. And if they want to hurt you or tear you down, don't matter. They can't do it. So here we go. Less attachment equals more authenticity. And that's the big one, right? When you're not defending an identity, you allow your true self to actually emerge, okay? You allow your personality to come out. You allow other people to see who you actually are, and you get to enjoy yourself more. You're more authentic. You're more present. You're more fun to be around. And that in and of itself will have people treat you differently. And that's all anybody ever fucking wants. We're in 2025. And that's the thing, is people just want to be treated well. And if you're authentic and you're genuine and you're present and you let things go because you're not attached to anything, you're just being you and you're talking to another human being, them, that in and of itself is going to change so much for you. And when you don't have an identity, that equals all possibilities. You're free to respond to life as it is. Okay. As things come, you're able to be present. You're able to see things. And instead of being triggered into fight or flight, you're able to respond from a place of balance. You're not defending an identity, right? You're free to just be who you are. You're not trying to meet some demand that you think you should or your subconscious thinks you should. Your ego is no longer dictating and running your life. You're able to say, no, fucking, it's good. And now you have this release, and it happens. I remember when I first started practicing this, I remember the release it felt. And then I went on and I got energy from it. Like I felt fucking better. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. So surrender equals power. Letting go of control gives you actual influence. Again, you get to be present. You get to be strong. You get to be coherent. You get to be happy. You're not in fight or flight. Your nervous system isn't going haywire. You're able to just be there. And when you're there and you speak to somebody else very calmly, that's power. When you're able to keep your composure and keep your wits, because when you go into fight or flight, when you're triggered, you turn dumb. Okay. And I'm not saying that to any specific person. I'm saying that because that's a scientific actuality. Is fight or flight says no more prefrontal cortex or, thinking. It's just time to act, right? Your nervous system doesn't know the difference. So it just responds. But when someone is confronting you, not physically, because physically is one thing, but we're saying someone just does something that kind of attacks your identity, you are able to sit there and think about it and choose how you want to react. And that will make you the most powerful person there. So on to number 5, internal validation. Take your fucking power back. Okay. You are a human. And as a human, you have access to every emotion right now. You don't need somebody else to make you feel happy. You don't need somebody else to validate you. You don't need anything or anybody else. You can feel every human emotion that you want to right now. And that's why I go back to there's only one person in the world that can piss you off, and that's you. And there's only one person in the world that can make you happy, and that's you. You're the only one. Yeah, people can do nice things for you, and that feels good, but it's still up to you to choose to feel good in order to feel happy or grateful. Just like somebody could say something mean to you, and you can choose to make that ruin your day, or you can choose to make you feel better. You are capable of being happy, and you're capable of being at peace. You're capable of being content, and you're capable of being grateful right now. Right now you are. Right now. And at all times. Period. You give yourself the emotion. And what we all want from money, for example, is happiness. We think that having the car, having the house, having the hot wife or whatever will equal happy. But you get to feel that now. Okay. And then when you feel that now, going back to the circle of manifestation, your outer world's going to follow because you feel that now. So you know that, okay, money's going to make me feel happy. Okay. If money is a frequency and I operate on happy, money will come to me. And if you read Busting Loose from the Money Game, you'll see that. You'll see that in a lot of things, Think and Grow Rich. A lot of authors, a lot of millionaires and billionaires acknowledge that. So you don't need anybody else or anything else to give that to you. You can give that to yourself. You can give that to yourself right now. You can feel happy right fucking now. Okay. And that is going to broadcast a signal of being happy. And then in turn, the outer world has to oblige. It has to give you that. Okay. You're the only person who can make you upset. Don't ever give that to other people. So let's get into some daily practices. Ask yourself, who am I without my stories about myself? Who actually am I, right? When you get triggered, when someone irritates you, ask yourself, what identity am I defending right now? Okay. And another quick tip is flip the script. When triggered, take a breath. Relax. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Don't internalize that feeling of being triggered. And think about a few things that you're truly grateful for, and then feel some compassion for the person who just tried to trigger you. Okay. You probably have never walked a single day in their shoes. Actually, I can guarantee it. Doesn't matter if it's your brother, your sister, your mother, or whatever. You've never walked a day in their actual shoes and how they see the world. So have some compassion about what happened to them. Have compassion about the hurt in their heart that is causing them to want to hurt you. And be grateful for who you are and what you are. That way you can internalize a good feeling and start to overcome triggers. Next thing you know, you won't be triggered when somebody tries to hurt your identity. And next thing you know, you'll stop seeing people that hurt your identity. It's fucking incredible. It's the ultimate freedom. Make peace with uncertainty. Not knowing who you are is liberating. It's not scary. It's fucking liberating. It is. You get to have compassion for others, understanding their identity that they're clinging to and they're suffering from. Because if somebody is trying to hurt your feelings, they're doing the same thing that you probably were doing, right? That's fucking suffering. It sucks. Doesn't mean you have to be like, would you like a hug right now? You can just not engage and go on with your daily life and end your suffering, because that's important. The only person that you're responsible for in this life is you. The only person that you lie in bed with every single night is you 100% of the time. Take care of yourself. And then you'll be able to take authentic action, responding from life, from presence, not from programmed identity. And that is very, very, very powerful. So here's the final thought I'll leave you with. The person who's attached to being right will always be wrong about who they are. The person who can let go of being anyone in particular gets to be who they truly are. A perfect child of God, because you are a perfect child of God. You are perfect. You were brought into this world to achieve what you wanted to achieve, and it's great. You were given the circumstances and the traumas and the body and the frame and everything that you have. You were given that to learn the lessons that you wanted to learn coming into this life. Well, that's a tough one to grasp for people, but it's true. And those circumstances, you can either be a victim to, or you can use them to create something great. But it starts with getting over your attachment to a false identity.